sophomore. And the third guard, number 50, Iron Rainey, is a 6'1" guard. He played in Oak Hill Academy in Virginia last year. He's the guy that's been written a lot about the Pittsburgh papers and talked about as one of the most talented players to maybe play in the area this year. Wearing number 2 and playing center at 6'5" would be Ches Phillips. And the fifth starter, number 33 for the Steelers, is a 6'2" senior. His name is Torlando P.D. Craig. And these guys put up 98 points last night in a win in section play over Laurel. And Jeff, this team could score points. So I said he scored 98 last night. Lowe had 22, and then we'll take a break for the national anthem. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a sec. Well, it's a high school crowd approaching around 3,000 here in the McCluskey Gymnasium. And Mr. Whitfield, the Farrell alma mater. I don't know if we should be speaking over that, but this should be quite a ball game between these two teams. Mike Tasello, in his second season here at Farrell, has the local folk real excited about this team and this program once again. While at George Junior Republic, of course, Coach Bob McConnell, his team is, and he is a coach, he has to rebuild or redo it every year, but he does it like nobody else.
Right, and as you said last night, Farrell putting up 98 points. George Junior's last game was Wednesday night against Hickory, their first game in about 2 weeks. Pretty long layoff over the Christmas holidays. We'll see if they got their legs for the game tonight. They should, as they always do.
Bob McConnell in his 7th season as the head coach of George Junior Republic, the record of 153-32. Rather unusual in that in the middle of those 7 years, he took a year off.
Yeah, he got a sales job down in Atlanta, and I guess he got a longing to come back to the area, came back up, and obviously picked up right where he left off.
Of course, when he left off, I think the coach who took over for him went 29-1 or something like that.
Yeah, Ralphie Blundo is now an assistant down at Newcastle. Took over the 1 year. He was coaching the 9th grade program at George Junior for a couple years also before he went back on John Sarandria's staff up here at Newcastle.
All right, there you see the Farrell Steelers in the home white uniforms. Getting ready to jump it up will be number 23, Brian Dungy. No, that's not. We've got a mistake in our roster right off the start of this thing. That's 30. That should be Petey Craig, who's wearing 23 instead of 33 as we get things started. We'll make a correction on our roster, and Steelers win the tap, and there's Dungy with the layup.
Missed the layup.
Off the ribbon quickly. George Jr. back. And both teams are going to push it up, folks. This should be fun to watch. All right. That's Tyree Denmark, a 6'3" player for the George Junior Club. Hard to the rim there, just a sophomore, 10th grader. And the shot blocked. It'll go out of bounds to George Junior.
Farrell playing a man-to-man.
John Brown, the 5'11" point guard. Where's number 3? Handles, shoots. Off the rim, rebound Farrell. Here come the Steelers. No score yet in the ball game. Dungy quickly into the lane, and he'll draw the foul. First of the game.
First 28 seconds, we've had more action than most ball games have in a quarter.
Foul called on number 23, Cannon White, with 6'3".
George Junior playing a man-to-man also. It might be in a 2-3 zone, looks like.
And what are you doing against the zone but palm from the outside? The outside shot is missed, as well as the tip by Ches Phillips.
I'm not sure if they knew what they were in there. It looked like they went zone off the inbound. And
there's a holding foul out away from the hoop.
Yeah.
On the ball. That called on Ches Phillips. It'll be his first.
Little tight call, about 30 feet from the hole. course, two teams to get up and down. The refs might want to lay the groundwork early in this one, Sean.
Try to keep control because this game is going to be a little wild,
Right,
a little
exactly.
crazy. A lot of good athletes going at it hard. A non-conference game for both teams. Farrell, of course, in WPIL District 7 from Mercer County. District 7, of course, mostly in Allegheny County, as well as Beaver and Washington, a little bit of Westmoreland County. There's a strong move to the basket, and a foul inside is going to go against Farrell's Petey Craig.
It's a pretty good foul, too. Uncontested layup going in there.
Yep, make them earn them at the line, and that'll be number 1, Benson Collier.
Of course, George Junior Republic, state semifinalists last year in Quad A. They're, of course, playing up from Double A. A little bit of a controversy a couple years ago with enrollment, and they decided to appease everyone. They'll just play up in 4A. And, of course, Farrell's basically an A school playing up in Double A.
Right, at one time a much bigger school, of course, way back when, and the Steelers have a very proud tradition. You got to look at the state championship banners that hang from the ceiling here at McCluskey Gymnasium.
7-0.
Collier makes 1 out of 2, and we have a score in the game. It's finally 1-0. George Junior Republic, minute gone in the ball game. Inside, Petey Craig shot. I don't know if it was deflected, but it came up short.
Looked like a little bit of a block here. Nice play. Right.
Collier finishes.
John Brown to Collier.
Yep, Collier with the alley-oop finishes it. And it's a 3-0 game. George Junior with the lead. The Tigers very aggressive defensively.
Yes, they are.
Farrell very aggressive offensively, but it hasn't worked yet for the Steelers. Shot from deep, the left-hander, John Brown. For
three-pointer. Timeout Farrell.
6-0 game already, and Mike Nasello doesn't want to see any more of it. He's got an interesting brain trust over there on the Farrell bench with Roland Shannonhouse and Frank Sinsack. Frank Sinsack, if anybody from Farrell, the area, and anybody in Western Pennsylvania basketball knows, used to be the head coach here. Also the principal later. He is retired now, but he's back as an assistant coach to young Mike Nasello, who coached some ball up in Erie before he came down here to take over last season.
Right, 2 nice trips down there by GJR also. Brown came down the first time with a pass, good look underneath the Collier, and came down the second time. He laid off him a little and popped the 3 from the top of the key.
We'll look at the Farrell huddle there, and we'll see how the Steelers will try to set it up here defensively with GJR leading 6-0. Actually, the Steelers will have the ball to inbound with 6:21 to here play in the first quarter. Farrell in the home white.
And GJR is extending their defense. Looks like they're going with a little bit of a trap, a 1-2-2 trap there.
Byron Lowe and Byron Dungy on the outside. Aaron Rainey on the far side. And there's the man inside. Nice move. Chase Phillips to the hoop, and he'll go to the line for a shot at a 3rd point. That's where you draw it up at a timeout, Jeff.
That is exactly. He broke down. GJR came out of the timeout in a 1-2-2 trapping half court. Broke it down, got the ball inside, and you always love to see a team score after a timeout.
Phillips doing a nice job going up over Benson Collier. He'll go to the line. With the foul called on Collier and 2 fouls each way here.
Got the lead in the half.
6-3 ball game with George Jr. in the lead. The Tigers. Oh!
Nice block there.
Terrific block made by Petey Craig, and Farrell back quickly. Block attempt on the dunk.
Getting up and down here, Sean.
Real successful.
Brown right to the hole. Oh! Brandon Collier throwing it down. Nice assist from Brown.
From standing still under the hoop. Collier using all 6'6" to put that one in the hole.
Wow.
8-3.
Letting them play underneath and call for another foul, but I think other than the drives underneath, the foul's called. Unless the fouls have been 30 feet from the action.
That foul's going to go against Myron Lowe, but there's a look and a nice assist made by John Brown. As he just said, here, you take it, Mr. Benson Collier, and put it home.
He knew exactly what to do with it when he got it, too.
Well, that's as a point guard should. He said, my job is out behind the 3-point line, and he has shown he can do it from out there tonight already. Dungy and a little bit of trouble, double team. Nice steal made by Tyree Denmark. Denmark to the hole.
Good block in there by Phillips. He's had a couple blocks underneath there tonight, Sean. It's like after that dunk, George Jr.'s legs look a little lively.
Right. Number 32, Lionel Stinson, into the ball game for Farrell. Stinson, a 5'11 junior guard. He replaces Dungee in the Steelers lineup. The Stinson and Myron Lowe both wearing headbands at the guard spots for the Farrell Steelers. 32-3. Good inbounds play. You cannot let him come off a pick untouched.
Bad defense on the inbound play there, Sean. You can't let a guy wide open like that underneath the hoop.
Steelers
throw it down.
Here's the first shot attempt of the night for. No, that wasn't the first. That's Petey Craig in there. He got fouled. He'll go to the back of the line.
24. Sean Simpson's also in for George Junior Republic.
There you got to look at the inbound play, an easy basket there.
Yeah, you can't let that happen.
Collier. Craig making good at the line, and if he can make them both, they count the same. Not quite as flashy, but it works. Farrell needs to make good on every chance to stay close here early as it's a 10-5 ball game.
You're right. They don't want to get out of hand. They also got to strengthen that interior defense a little, or else GJR is going to shoot about 90% when they're going up from 2 feet from the basket.
Steelers playing man-to-man, mostly full court here. As Denmark works. Gets away with a
little bit of walk.
No, he didn't get away with it. For a while, I thought
there.
He would, but Tyree Denmark, a few too many steps against Phillips. And the turnover for George Jr.
It's kind of an odd call. Usually get called on the first step, and usually the ending step usually gets let go.
The official almost swallowed his pee. It took him a while to blow the whistle. Nice drive there by Myron Lowe, and he draws a foul. So the Steelers going to the basket, and they won't back off most likely all evening from what we've seen in past years.
Now they are attacking that zone.
When you have a point guard as quick as a Myron Lowe, who also can score. I said he put up 22 last night as the Steelers scored 98. That foul called against Collier, his second, and he'll go to the George Jr. bench.
And I'm sure at the 30-point victory he wasn't playing all 4 quarters
right.
either.
With substitution in the ballgame, Terry.
Still there by Brown.
Terry Suggs for George Jr. All out of bounds to the Tigers underneath. Dungee back in for the Farrell club, replacing Lionel Stinson. There's a turnover, quick play.
It's Rainey.
That was Rainey.
Rainey on his still, gave it to Petey Craig.
Going back and forth.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, Sean Simpson is in the ball game for the Tigers. Caught standing on the baseline. He wears number 24. Simpson, a 6'6" senior. This George Jr. team has some real good size.
Yeah, they do.
Good backdoor look against
that's an up and down there. Be a jump ball.
Craig with the look opposite to Ches Phillips, but couldn't make the shot.
George Jr.'s ball. It looks like George Jr. bringing a couple of players in off the bench. Their athleticism doesn't get any the least either.
Right, good play there by Simpson to defend. Simpson and Suggs, the new men in there. There's Suggs outside. Looking around Brown from deep. His
Brown's
second
impressive.
3 of the night. He was a good player.
He was a solid ball player.
Iron Rainey for 3 for Farrell.
Answers right back.
That's the best way to answer, isn't it?
That is it.
13-8 our score.
13-8, and hit a couple of them, they'll be out of that zone.
The visiting Tigers from George Jr. Republic leading Farrell with 3:35 to play in the first quarter. Good luck Lowe. With Suggs out of position in the turnover by George Jr. Brady quickly to the forecourt.
Good look underneath.
Ches Phillips the hoop, but a great assist for Iron Rainey.
Rainey's come to life here in the last 2 trips, Sean.
3-point shot and a 50-foot pass and assist. It's 13-10.
Good look. Caught the defense with their heads turned. That's a bump out front.
Holding foul called against the Steelers. Let's see exactly who the player
was on Rainey.
Gets the call. It is going to be Rainey's first. Into the game, number 24, Simpson once again. Sean Simpson for George Jr.
Good defense by Craig. Stepped out of bounds there. Stole the inbound pass.
Tried to get it into Cannon White, but Craig knocked it loose. And there's a good look at Mike Casello in his second season here at Farrell. Trying to get the official's ear. And it's said, yeah, Mike, that's your seat over there. You're not allowed off that in the league.
You get paid to coach, we get paid to ref.
Yeah. But I'm sure Mike made his point. Brown handling. Oh, he turned that
watch a 5-second call.
Yeah, he turned that
you know
over.
what? He absolutely did get the call.
You know what it is?
He's been yelling and screaming for the turnover.
I think what it is that our audio is hooked up to that official. That's the second time.
Right.
But that was an obvious call and a good one. A turnover for George Jr. Brown was just so quick. I think the official was stunned. That was a kind of a bad look there by Lowe to give it right back.
Suggs for 2.
The hoop scored by Terry Suggs.
Another assist from Brown also.
15-10 to George Jr. lead.
He's an impressive ball player.
Good drive by Dungy. Off the rim. Rebound battle inside. Handled nicely by Cannon White.
Bury the hole. Stayed on his end.
Yeah, Denmark missed on the George Jr. end.
Other than those couple of dunks by Collier, everything else has been contested.
There's Brown
again.
Fading to his right. He'll get his third 3. It's an 18-10 lead. He has 9. Rainey tries to answer as he fades out of bounds, but there's Chance Phillips to clean up the garbage to make it 18-12.
7 points for Phillips. He's active underneath for Farrell tonight. Brown fills it.
Brown says,
missed that one, Rainey with the rebound.
Yeah, let's just go back and forth here a little bit. Rainey double team, good luck. Petey Craig finds Lowe in the corner. Strong rebound by John Brown. He's doing it at both ends.
Yes, he is.
You know, he's listed at 5'11". He looks a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, he does. He's a good-sized kid.
Denmark turns it over, taking too many steps on the baseline. We can breathe a little here with 1:39 to play in the first quarter.
That's 5'11". He's a solid 175, 180.
Yeah, Lionel Stinson back into the Farrell lineup, replacing Myron Brown. Myron Lowe. Myron Brown played for
Stowe Rocks
back in the day.
Slippery Rug, now he's over in Europe.
Yeah. Good passing inside by Farrell. Phillips can't finish. Loose ball. Comes back out. Rainey looks at the 3.
It's down.
18-15. It's a 3-point game. The closest Farrell's been since the start.
Rainey's second 3 of the game, 6 overall.
1:15 to play in the first quarter. Official emphasis.
That's a hold under there. Sean Simpson up with a attempted dunk.
I feel like Petey Craig's defense down there. I don't know if we have a replay of that. But Mike Casello had to be seated once again by the official. But look at this if you have a chance. Watch the defense. Watch it's after Petey Craig had the jersey on the back.
He had a handful.
Sean Simpson. Simpson pulled away, went up for the slam. And our boy Ches Phillips there to foul him on the attempt. I think that's the guy, you'd rather have him shooting from 15 than 3.
Exactly. It's pretty hard to miss those when your hand in the ball's about 12 inches right over top of the rim.
This young man can get up in the air, and he has some strength. 1 out of 2 at the line. It's a 19-15 Tigers lead over the Farrell Steelers. A minute to play, first quarter. Iron Rainey.
It's off the back iron on that one.
Good rebound inside. Petey Craig. And it's coming back. Here come the line.
Outlet.
Tigers quickly.
It's Cannon White.
He got back behind the Farrell defense, and Dungy had no choice but to pull the foul. His first of the game. 5 against Farrell, 5 against George Jr. here with still 49 seconds to play in the first quarter. Cannon White at the line.
it on the first.
Shows a good stroke.
5th Tiger player to score in this quarter, too, Sean.
Myron Lowe, number 3, returns for the Farrell Steelers, along with number 21, Marcus Gregory, a 6'3" senior forward. Marcus brings the wide body. He'll battle inside against big Mr. Simpson. Number 21 with his back to you. Underneath Simpson, the rebound. And the follow shot is no good, but as Jeff said, the foul called.
Simpson's going back to the line.
That's a good place to put it. 1 out of 2 so far tonight from this charity stripe.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough combo there. They put Collier on the bench and bring in Simpson. A pretty good 1-2 punch.
First foul charge to Gregory for Farrell. Phillips getting a nice rest here. The final minute of the first quarter for the Farrell Steelers. Warm gymnasium. There's probably somewhere near 3,000 people in this place. It seats about 3,100.
It's pretty well packed tonight.
Nice drive. Made by Gregory, but he couldn't put it in.
Right in off the bench, taking it right to the hole.
Here comes Brown. He's the money man for this Tigers team.
Pull it out for the last shot, Sean.
James Bates, 6-footer, number 34. Started the ball game. He's back in there handling outside with Brown. Working against Rainey. Double team, back to Bates. 7 seconds. Good steal, Low down court, and the loose ball tipped out nicely by Brown with 2 seconds. Farrell will have a chance at a final shot. We'll see if they can get a good one.
Yeah, bad pass there in the corner by Tyree Berry. Just for the last shot, held the ball about 30 seconds to throw it away.
Right, just a little bit long on the looping pass from Iron Rainey that could have set up Low for the easy hoop. But good hustle by Brown to get back for George Jr. There's Low for 3. That would have been big. But that's the end of the first quarter of play here at E.J. McCluskey Gymnasium in Farrell, Pennsylvania, where the George Jr. Republic Tigers lead the Farrell Steelers 21-15. Sean Doherty and Jeff Whitfield here with you. You're watching the Adelphia Cable High School basketball telecast here. Special edition. And Jeff, that's a pretty wild first quarter of high school ball.
I was going to say, you said these players need a little bit of a break every now and then. We need about a 3-minute timeout in between this quarter.
We'll take one.
Regroup here.
We'll look at Coach Bob McConnell's huddle. We touched on just the job that Bob McConnell has to do as the head coach at George Jr.
Yeah, they lose 90% of their players every year. No real feeder system as far as bringing them up through the grade schools and junior high and junior varsity to learn the system at the varsity level. So he's pretty much got to go throw the ball out on the court and see what he has every year. Granted, it doesn't hurt to have a couple of 6'6" kids like Phillips and Collier come in, and John Brown's a really super nice point guard out there.
Sure is.
But still, you never know what the attitudes of the kids are going to be like, or, a lot of these kids haven't even played ball before.
Yeah,
organized basketball at the high schools they came from.
Collier and Simpson, both impressive inside players, and Brown, as you said, so far.
Right.
The player on the court who is most impressive tonight, there you look at some of the state champion banners here, and the tradition at Farrell, which may be coming back, and that exemplified by the 3,000 fans who've made it here on a Saturday night to watch these two teams play a game that really doesn't mean anything.
Always nice to see a packed gym in Western Pennsylvania, Sean.
Low with a pretty drive and hoop for the Farrell Steelers.
Finally off the side. Leading scorer on the year, a 20-point scorer last year, had 22 last night. Finally gets his first 2.
And that was a nice drive, so maybe he'll get it going.
Yep, might get him rolling.
Rainey back in there along with Collier, number 2. Well, that's Ches Phillips, too. Collier's on the other team.
Nice rebound by Brown under there. Puts it in.
Yeah, he's good around the basket.
11 points.
Phillips still inside. But Collier is back in there. He wears number 1 for the George Jr.
Here he comes.
The steal, and look out below. Oh, nice defense by Lowe just to make him change his shot. Rainey looks for the 3, moves inside, looks low.
Hard on a pass. Here comes another one.
Collier's ahead of the pack. Good hustle by Dungy to get back. Hassel him, but who's going to get it?
It's GJR's ball. Good hustle by both players there.
Yep.
Collier and Brian Dungy of Farrell. Couple quick stills, and these George Jr. Republic players know which basket to head for.
Well, when you have this kind of talent, this is certainly the kind of style to play. And Coach McConnell has his team running it well.
Nice to see him play it too. Non-section game really means not a whole lot, but bragging rights, maybe a little seeding later on down the line for the state playoffs.
The thing most impressive to me, though, is the way they play it. They look, they hit the open man. Nobody just takes off
right.
running and shooting.
It's not helter-skelter, that's for sure. It's
that foul called on Brown, his second of the ball game, 6 against each team so far, with 6:51 to play in the first half.
So what's Nolan Richardson like to call a little bit of organized mayhem.
It's a little more organized, I think, at this level. 23-17 our score, as you see. There's Phillips in the middle. He got a foul. That's going to go against James Bates, number 34 for the Tigers.
Phillips has been really active for Farrell tonight. He's stepping the line, shooting 2. He has 7 already.
6'5" junior has stepped up and stood the challenge of the 6'6" seniors from George Jr.
Yeah, he has. He's played pretty well tonight so far. So we'll see with that combo of Collier and Phillips how that wears on him as the game goes on tonight.
As I mentioned, a cool night outside, but it's kind of warm here in E.J. McCluskey Gymnasium.
Anything but in here. You got that right.
It's going to be when you've got 3,000 folks.
It's Farrell's first miss from the line tonight.
In one room.
Phillips makes him 4 or 5 from the charity stripe.
There used to be a law against that, but the Steelers will take it off the window, and there's a timeout called by Coach McConnell, I think. Strange. It's a 30-second timeout.
Farrell called
that timeout. Yeah, that's it. It was called from the Farrell bench, and we talked about this, Jeff, for the West Mifflin Mile Limited game a couple of weeks ago. That's one of the worst rules in high school ball, and I don't think it's allowed in college. If it is, it shouldn't be. Coaches shouldn't be allowed to just call timeout in the middle of a play.
Yeah, no, I don't like it at all. I was watching a game last night, and there was a trap in the far end of the corner, and a coach on the opposite side of the court on the bench called a timeout with the referee standing over beside him, and it's clearly going to be a turnover on the play. And of course, the coach of the other team was the one who got reprimanded for yelling and screaming at, not allowing the timeout there. Yeah, I don't like it at all. The ball carrier should.
Not only that, but aside from the whole thing, the young men who play the game don't have to learn the game.
Right.
They should understand when there's a time to call a timeout.
Whoever has the ball should be the one to call it.
It used to be it, I believe, in the old days, but anybody can call one. Anybody in the gym can call one now, I think.
Well, you can call one when you're 10 feet off the ground, jumping out of bounds.
So, that's another issue. Collier down low, nice left-handed attempt. Stepped on the baseline. Challenged nicely by Phillips, and he put his left foot back on the baseline and stepped out of bounds to turn it back over.
Farrell, a chance to eke a little closer here.
Down 5, need a hoop, and there's a nice drive by Beanie Craig. Let's see if they'll allow the basket. Blocking foul. Good hoop.
A little bit of a delayed call there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Had to get the crowd's reaction first, see how they liked it.
I guess. That's a home call, I think, myself. But Mr. Craig will go to the line and try to get his team within 2. See there? Whistle was blown long before he launched the shot.
And a big third foul on Benson Collier.
And they call that continuation, I think, in the NBA.
Sometimes.
Collier immediately to the bench for George Jr.
District 7's a little more liberal on it than the NBA is.
Simpson a rebound there as he got high in the air. Here come the Tigers, up by 3 at 23-20. Suggs outside, he's back in there replacing Collier. Suggs and Brown at the guard spots.
Yeah, they got Browns on the bench right now.
I like Collier went to the bench.
Shots off by Suggs.
Oh, that was Denmark.
I'm sorry,
got a guard spot. You're right. Brown is on the bench. My mistake. Tyree Denmark, number 4. There's Lowe.
Good.
5 points this quarter from Myron Lowe, and we're tied at 23. He has the last 5 points in the ballgame by either team.
Air ball there.
Lowe ahead of the back.
And one. Looks like a foul on Terry Suggs back here, getting back a little late. Lowe's making up for that lack of scoring in the first quarter.
I'm wondering if the folks at home might know on whose campus is E.J. McCluskey Gymnasium. Nice play there. Good hit ahead and Lowe with a pretty play at the end to use the foul, and they complete it. It's 26-23 Farrell with 5:34 to play in the first half.
Gymnasium, this is almost big enough to be called an arena.
Field house, something or other.
This offense just doesn't look as smooth without Brown in there.
Suggs from deep.
Of course, they have. Farrell has gone to a zone, too.
Beating Craig with the loose ball, and Lowell set up the offense for the Steelers.
I think Lowe's feeling it.
He sure is.
Air ball there, but that's all right. He's feeling it.
Feeling a little less.
Little help from the referee. Farrell's ball.
That's a turnover. Yep, the official. That would have gone out of bounds either way. It would have been out of bounds on the baseline. Instead, it went out of bounds on the sideline.
Well, you know me. I always give the kids the benefit of the doubt.
The official is part of the court. That wouldn't have mattered.
You got that right.
Great look from Lowe to beat Craig. Easy hoop, but Farrell by 5.
Timeout. George Jr. This crowd's on its feet, Sean. He's got in a second. And nice job of Farrell switching over to a zone once they took Brown out of the game. Doesn't seem like the point guards of Berry and Suggs have the same backcourt fitness to run the point as Mr. John Brown does. We'll see if he comes back in here, Sean.
I think I would get him in a hurry, but he's not coming.
Too.
He's going back to the bench.
He's staying on the bench.
Does he have 2 fouls, I think, first quarter? I'm not mistaken. I think he does. And that could be why Coach McConnell's still resting him. So Suggs will be at the point guard along with James Bates. And also number 4, Tyree Denmark on the near side. He has it now. Inside, it's Sean Simpson, 24 in the high post. There's a steal by Craig again, up court to Lowe. Gets numbers good.
Nice pass.
Good hustle by Craig, and he couldn't finish. The travel called, and it's a turnover. But what action here.
Yeah, it is. It's up and down.
Gym.
That was a pretty close call there.
Nice look. I don't know about that walk call.
Little shuffle there.
Tiny.
Let a continuation go. You can let them have a little skip step here.
Very tiny. Yeah, a lot of refs will call that a jump stop and let it go. But
exactly. Especially in a game like this.
That's the turnover. And the Tigers down 5 could use a basket. Little carry there by Cannon White, number 23, who's back in the ball game. White's been working low.
George Jr. looking to pull it out here.
High.
2-3 zones causing a lot of problems, Sean.
Little motion set by Coach McConnell's club. Looking at the outside driving.
That's a walk there.
On a push. Yeah, Lowe got called, and I think his foot, unfortunately, got in the way.
Yeah, if anything, I think he tripped over him.
As James Bates came crashing into the middle of the zone.
Yeah.
Something had to be called, I think, and it was. That's going to be Cannon White at the line to shoot 1-on-1. 9 fouls against the visitors and 7 now against the Steelers here in the first half. This Cannon White looks like a pretty good player too. He hasn't had the ball much here in the first half. How many?
Second point of the night.
Just 2, yeah, that's what I thought.
All at the free throw line.
Yep. He's very solid. He's been working quietly up and under around the hoop. 2 for 4 at the line so far tonight as Lowe pushes it back.
5 for 10 overall.
Iron Rainey back for the Steelers, number 50. Little show for Phillips.
Little off. Probably out of his range, Sean.
3-point attempt, but he got the loose ball and back to Rainey, who swings it to Lowe on the near side. Lowe into the lane.
Nice
that
move.
was pretty.
Off the glass.
That's a highlight reel tape play there.
10 points for Lowe.
30-24, the Farrell lead. 3:24 to play first half. Simpson and good look low. White.
White missed the jam.
But Simpson the rebound. Stripped by Phillips. They'll call the travel.
Got a walk. Cannon White showing he can get up there at 6'3", but tell you what, when you're behind by 6, that's the time to put the ball in the hole, lay it in there.
Low caught George Jr. lapping. He got that one up about 80 feet to a wide open Ches Phillips, who got the hoop. So Myron Lowe with a couple of long assists in this
they
game.
got a hold on Pete Craig underneath here.
Craig called for the 8th foul against Farrell here in the first half. That'll send number 33, Terry Suggs, to the line. And it'll also bring number 22 for Farrell, Brian Dungy back into the lineup, replacing Craig.
Brown's back in also for George Jr.
Brown replacing Simpson. So Cannon White now the biggest guy on the floor for George Jr. at 6'3". Suggs good on the first of two. What'll be two is he made the first of the one-on-one.
And I think Coach McConnell getting Brown back in before this one gets out of hand before the halftime.
Right, 3 minutes to play first half.
George Jr. 6 out of 12 from the line. That's about the difference in the game. Brown with the rebound right in off the bench. Nice pass to Suggs.
Cannon White with the rebound on the other side, and he'll go back to the line.
That's a third on Phillips, too. That's a big foul in there. He's been very active underneath for the Steelers tonight. Looks like we got number 5 coming in.
That'll be O'Brien Lampkins. 5'11" senior guard for the Steelers waiting. He'll be in at after the shot attempt, if it's made. 9 fouls against each team so far. Oh, that's a 2-shot foul. That's my mistake there. With White on the shot attempt. Says Phillips gets a rest. Steelers with a small lineup in there now. Petey Craig, the tallest player at 6'2". Brown, the loose ball quickly for George Jr. A chance to cut into a 7-point lead by Farrell. Brown shot off the mark.
They release. They're not getting back here.
That's Dungy ahead of the pack.
That's goaltending. Gotta be a goaltending.
That was Cannon White high in the glass to knock that ball off, and it was a good hoop. Good long look and an easy bucket for Brian Dungy.
White can get up for 6'3", but they caught him napping. It'd be a little better if he got back on defense.
Farrell by 9, 34-25. 2:23 to play in the half. Brown cuts the Farrell run.
That's Brown.
Rainey quickly off to the corner. There's Dungy for his first 3.
He's quickly come alive.
5 in a row for him.
5 quick ones.
37-27, the Steelers by 10.
Double-digit lead.
Their biggest of the ball game. 1:57 to play first half.
A little bit of 1-3-1 zone. These zones really cause problems for GJR here in the second quarter.
Good look down low. There's Brown. Good inside passing.
15 on the night, Sean.
And the Tigers offense already 15 points in the game. With the impressive Brown, there's Lowe to the hoop, and he'll take the foul and go to the line. Let's see who they'll call it against. I believe it's going to be number 33, Terry Suggs.
That's who it is.
His second, and that's 10 against George Jr., so Farrell will shoot 2 the rest of the half for each foul.
Yeah, Brown set out about 5.5 minutes of this second quarter, and by no coincidence, he has half the Tigers' points in this quarter.
Wow. He also is 15 of their 29. He is over half their points in the game. 1:40 to play here in the first half. Lowe with an impressive first half after a slow start in the first quarter offensively. He makes it 39-29.
12 for Lowe.
John Brown.
Getting some directions from Coach McConnell on the bench. See how they're going to attack this zone.
Tyrade Denmark in trouble, needs help. Gets it to Brown.
They haven't showed, other than Brown, they're a tremendous outside shooting team.
Looks like a 1-2-2 or 1-3-1 maybe.
Yep.
And Brown forced to adjust his shot. The Steelers have Lowe all alone.
Oh, who can get up?
Myron Lowe, the 5'10" guard, almost slammed that in.
Get a foul down here on Lampkins.
O'Brien Lampkins gets in the book. His first foul of the game, and Mike Gasol didn't like that call. Neither did Roland Shannonhouse. Both of them off the bench, but look here how high Myron Lowe gets it.
Two-handed also.
Almost jammed that in. That's as close as you can come without.
Yeah, it is.
As I'd say, he's listed at 5'10". Doesn't look any taller than that. He may not even be 5'10".
I could probably play him in horse, but he'd have got me on that shot.
23, Cannon White at the line, shooting 2. That's the 10th foul against Farrell. First against O'Brien Lampkins.
That's good.
White has made his living at this charity stripe tonight. As Lampkins gets a rest, and number 32, Lionel Stinson, back in the ballgame to play some guard for the Steelers.
Get a couple that time.
Cannon cuts the lead back to 10. It's 1:03 to play here in the first half. Steelers are slowing a little bit here. Iron Rainey against what looks like a zone trap. Denmark got his foot on it, then his hand, and it's back to the Steelers. Dungy from deep.
Rainey with the rebound.
Rainey strong on the rebound. Good luck low. Just off the fingertips of Brian Dungy inside. Or was that Petey Craig?
That was Petey Craig underneath.
I thought so.
Tough
23
ball.
instead of 22.
Yeah. Nice pass underneath. Couple inches one way or another.
Another substitution for the Steelers brings number 5 back into the game, O'Brien Lampkins. He's playing the back middle of this 2-3 zone, it appears, right now for Farrell.
Seems like it's George Jr. defense gets a little bit lax underneath.
Mike DeCello changing defenses, and there's Brown shot in the corner. He's gone cold with the long rest, it appears.
Perry with the steal.
And a little off his mark. And
there's White.
Cannon White inside, and there's Lampkins strong. He draws the foul as he rips that rebound out of there. O'Brien Lampkins, 5'11", all 5'11" of them high to the rim to grab the rebound.
Yeah, White's very active underneath there for George Jr. He just can't put the ball in the hole.
His second foul, Cannon White, in the first half for George Jr. with 18 ticks left on the clock.
Lampkins at the line.
The score is 41 for Farrell, 31 for the visiting Tigers of George Jr. Republic. Come into this ballgame at 8-2. Farrell at 6-5 overall. I mentioned most of those losses against bigger schools, and actually most of them from outside the state. Erie Cathedral Prep, the only Pennsylvania team they've lost to. That's a Quad A school. And just after coming back from a tournament out in Las Vegas, the Steelers.
Well-deserved hand for Pete Craig going to the bench.
Lampkin with 2 points in the first half here.
It's on the board with a couple. Tigers for the last shot.
Replaced by Myron Lowe, who's back in for the final 7 seconds.
And I bet Brown takes it.
I would hope he would, but he's not going to get the chance.
Not going to.
Instead, it's Cannon White from deep. Or no, that's Suggs.
Terry Suggs from deep. And prove me wrong. Someone other than Brown can shoot from the outside.
A three-pointer makes it 43-34. Our halftime score. What a half of basketball. You're watching Adelphia Cable's special telecast of the Farrell Steelers and the George Jr. Republic Tigers. Sean Doherty, Jeff Whitfield here with you. We'll be back with some stats and second half action in just a sec. Welcome back to E.J. McCluskey Gymnasium in Farrell, Pennsylvania, where the Farrell Steelers are leading George Jr. Republic 43-34 at the half. My name is Sean Doherty. I'm here with Jeff Whitfield. Jeff, it was quite a half of basketball we watched here already tonight. See if you can kind of compose it a little bit for us as far as numbers, who led everybody, and your thoughts on that first half of play.
Well, very up and down, exciting pace there. We'll go with the scoring real quick. First for the George Jr. Republic Tigers. Sean Simpson had 2 coming off the bench. Terry Suggs had 6. Cannon White had 4. John Brown, a leading scorer, with 15. And Benson Collier with 7. For a total of 34. Farrell Steelers with 43. Very impressive 28-13 run there in the second half. Ches Phillips had 10. Myron Lowe had 14 all in the second quarter. Brian Dungy with 5. Petey Craig with 6. Rainey with 6. And Lampkins with 2 off the bench.
George Jr. in the visiting black and blue trim. They'll handle the ball first here to start the second half. Brown gets it to the wing. That's a good dish off made by number 23, Cannon White.
But a walk on him at the end there.
Called it the
big difference in the dish. Big difference in the first half, Sean. Farrell 9 of 11 from the free throw line, and George Jr. only 8 out of 16.
Just a thing of note, Benson Collier, the 6'6" senior, still on the bench with 3 fouls early, as you see Phillips exploiting inside on the good dish from number 23, Petey Craig. For Farrell, they open up a 12-point lead. Suggs on the far wing. He has the ball in the corner. He looks for three. Suggs and Simpson inside for George Jr. to start the second half.
Craig's down on the other end.
He's injured, as you see Myron Lowe down the lane, draw a foul. And Cannon White didn't like the call. It goes against him. I can understand why he didn't like it, because it is against him, as I say. But Craig looks like he's going to be okay and lift to the forecourt after coming down rather awkwardly on a rebound attempt.
Yeah, it looked like he came down on the side of his ankle there.
But
I haven't seen too many players that like fouls called on them.
No, not a lot. But there's Lowe, who had a big first half for Farrell. In fact, an enormous second quarter, as he makes good on his first attempt here in the second half. 47 to 34.
He's looking 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Nice looking shot there.
Farrell's lead with 7:14 to play here, third quarter. This is Brown. He was very impressive in the first quarter.
Got a charge. No hoop.
And he's been very frustrated. Farrell went to the zone in the second quarter, and he saddled a good bit of it, came back, and never really regained the momentum he had early.
Not at all, and that's his third foul now.
Against the man, and there you pick up a little frustration driving into the defensive player.
Might take away a little bit of his driving ability, too, with 3 fouls on him. Can't afford to pick up that fourth so early.
Iron Rainey's quick pass to Lowe to Phillips. His second hoop and a half, and Farrell's blowing this one open here.
McConnell might want a timeout.
Bob McConnell in his 7th season.
To get this team regrouped.
Head coach George Jr. Mike Costello's team here for Farrell has really come out strong to start the half. And
it's like a matchup zone. These zones, they played a 1-2-2, 1-3-1, 2-3.
Right.
A little bit of a matchup. They really confused George Jr.
And it's worked well for Farrell so far. There's Simpson inside. That's a good way to beat it. Quick passing, get the man in the middle. He'll get the easy bucket. Simpson slams it home. But Lowe has just been unstoppable ever since the tip-off for the second, or the inbound for the second quarter.
Foul on Barry, and he's going back to the line.
Showing my age. You don't tip it off anymore in the quarters.
Yeah, I noticed they took down the peach baskets, too. It's hard to believe.
That's Denmark's first foul of the ball game. Tyree Denmark, a 6'3" senior for George Jr. Lowe has just been solid. He had 22 last night, as I mentioned, the 98 points the Steelers put up against Laurel here in the same gymnasium. Their only loss, rather ironically, on this floor in Pennsylvania, I should say, in the final of the Dresch McCluskey Memorial Tournament over the holidays, losing to Erie Cathedral Prep in the final, and by just 3 points. That was more of an Erie pace at 54-51. Farrell already has 51. Early in the third quarter here, and as you see, Benson Calliard back in the ball game. And he makes plays at both ends for George Jr. Calliard knows number 1, and he's a player.
Showing a little range, 3-pointer and a couple of dunks.
Need to get going.
Got a tip in there also.
On the attempt by Brown, so George Jr. cuts the lead to 10. They can score him in bunches, as you see.
Another good rebound by Calliard. Good move there by Lowe, though, taking it right to the hole. Calliard with 3, and Brown was guarding him with 3.
White up to the 3-point line. Way short, but where's the loose ball coming? Tipped by Calliard. Here comes Farrell.
Nice
good
pass.
Look, Iron Rainey's been a terrific passer tonight. And Dungy has run the floor very well. He got the foul attempt.
White with a foul. He better control himself a little there.
Cannon White. Struggling
about his
here.
Third, right? Third or fourth.
Struggling early here in the third quarter.
That's his fourth.
So he's in the most trouble. Coach McConnell's going to leave him in, it appears.
Yep, he's sticking with him. Trying to get him settled down over there. Been a little emotional after a couple of them fouls. And no use to pick up. He's going to take him out.
Leads Terry Suggs into the ballgame, number 33. Suggs had a good first half for George Jr.
Always a good move when that player is emotional. Take him out, get him out, don't get a cheap fourth right away, or a cheap fifth on him.
Dungy makes it a 52-41 lead for the Farrell Steelers at 5:35 to play, third quarter. Here at E.J. McCluskey Gymnasium, Sean Doherty here, along with Jeff Whitfield, a crowd of almost 3,000 here in attendance, and their game being treated to quite a basketball game. We hope you're enjoying our telecast here on the Adelphia Cable Systems in Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Farrell jumped out quickly here in the third quarter, Sean. GJR kind of regrouped here to get back into it. I think the putting Calliard in the game, hit 1 from 3, the dunk underneath, and look a little bit more active on defense. couple of trips they finally saw that Farrell zone, whichever one. They're really switching that zone up on them.
See there the Farrell cheerleaders beautifying our Adelphia internet address. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact us.
You've always been one for the eye for the cheerleaders.
5:35 to play here in the third quarter. It's an 11-point game. Farrell was down early here, Jeff. They have completely turned things around.
Yeah, they have. They were down 8 early. Jumped up to a 15, 16-point lead in this quarter. Now it's back down to 11. 2 points. Spread at 2 points from halftime.
The insertion of Brenson Collier, number 1, back into the George Jr. lineup. He has 3 fouls. Got him in the first quarter for George Jr., but he has played well here to get the Tigers back in line. There's a quick substitution for Farrell. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Marcus Gregory, number 21, into the game, or is he going to be? Yeah, he's in there, but somebody else is going to have to wait.
I think coming in and out of the timeout, they didn't listen to the coach. Said you're in, son. He said, who, me?
Well, it used to be you had to make sure you checked in at the table.
Yeah, now all the, that's what it is now. All the high schools this year, I believe, they first adopted it.
Suggs from deep.
Putting an X right in the middle of the score table. And a lot of referees will not call a player in unless he's standing right there.
Rainey to Petey Craig. That's a 70-foot pass, and Farrell has thrown the long ball nice here tonight. Very nicely, I should say.
Good kids. Collier with a 3 earlier, and Simpson with that miss.
Simpson on it from boards hard. Here
low on a breakaway.
Ahead of the pack. Byron Lowe and the Farrell Steelers have opened this up to a 15-point game. It's 56-41. And George Jr.'s in some deep trouble.
Yeah, they are. Unless he's still by Rainey here at half court.
Brown needs to make them pay. Good look inside. Nice play by Phillips to knock it loose. With the ball recovered by Brown. He's a little bit too much one-on-one here.
5-second call out here.
And a good call by the
referee got him.
Good pick up there, Jeff.
Technical on McConnell. He's on the floor.
I think that was an intentional technical there.
Yeah, to get the team fired up, maybe.
Maybe fire up his team, and also to point out that George Jr. may be getting a little bit of the short end here of the calls in the Farrell gym.
Yeah, you know what? I thought a couple times in the first half, Jerome could have got 5 seconds called on him. Kind of went by the wayside, but coach can get a technical, but to run out on the court, that's another thing. I mean,
you know, if you look into that huddle, you would think that Coach DeCello's team was down 15 instead of ahead. He's
right.
Low attempting the technical foul shots. It makes good on the first. 57-41 our score. There's Meyer looking for the second, and he gets them both. And it'll be Farrell basketball. And the tough part of that, and actually it wasn't really, it was a good timed technical, if there is such a thing, and it was by the coach instead of by a player, which is never a good thing, because it also counts as personal.
The only thing I didn't like about it was a couple of his players were a little rattled when they came to the bench when he's taking them out this quarter.
Right,
and I'm not so sure they're going to regain their composure with the coach running on the court like that at the time.
Right, O'Brien Lampkins with the miss for Farrell, but he didn't cost his team a possession,
right,
so
exactly.
That was what so it didn't really cost him, only 2 points, so really not bad. It's still 58-41.
We'll see if it fires him up. That's rolling in.
That would be Suggs with the basket in the lane.
Nice soft rims there.
3:57 to play third quarter. Plenty of time in the ball game.
Low for 3.
Not if you're going to leave him wide open like that, though.
Can't do that.
Denmark tracks down the loose ball, and here comes George Jr.
They need to make here.
Brown.
Got a hold underneath.
Got away with a carry and drilled a 3, and they'll hold away from the ball.
Yeah, Craig's holding Simpson underneath there.
Go against Petey Craig. We'll look here at the replay. Here's a look. See outside. Yeah, I'd say that's a demonstrative hold.
That's a hold and pass interference, either or.
O'Brien Lampkin to the Farrell bench along with
Gonna count. Better get someone under there.
Petey Craig goes out. Now Lampkin back to the scorer's table. A couple of new players.
Phillips just picked up a cheap 4th underneath.
And he was just put into the ball game just at that break.
Just got put back in. He had no position at all. Laying on Simpson's back 5 feet from the basket. Another way to pick up your 4th.
Comes back and replaces him. I don't know if he was supposed to come out. It was probably either way. Coach DeCello not happy with that turn of events.
Yeah, I don't think he just put him back in. So
2 fouls against Farrell this half, and both of them
A
costly.
little inbound. Callier getting up.
Oh, does he go high in the air?
Yes, he does.
They wanted to dunk that, but they took the easy 2.
He scores his points in bunches.
13-point game. There's Byron Love.
Hear that hoop.
Just putting on a show here tonight
Yes,
for the
he does.
folks in Farrell, Pennsylvania.
He has 24 and a quarter and a half, Sean.
Wow.
Another hold underneath there, it looks like.
Yeah, they're having trouble is Farrell with the big guys.
Right. Lampkins is undersized under there against Callier.
And both Simpson and Lampkins in the ballgame at 6'6" for George Jr. So Coach DeSello is going to bring Marcus Gregory back. The 6'3" wide body will replace O'Brien Lampkin.
Yeah, with Callier in foul trouble in the first half, he couldn't play both them and Simpson at the same time.
Right.
A lot, so they got them both in now. Decisive size advantage out there.
Denmark for 3. Needed it. Didn't get it. 15-point game. Farrell low ahead of the back. Backs it out a little.
It's between
3. Not there. Dungy big off the baseline.
That was off of Callier from my angle here.
Well, I was thinking that too. I think more so Callier hit Dungy's arm, which technically might be a foul.
Yeah, the referee's 2 feet away and I'm 35, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Here we get a look here at the miss. You can see.
Yeah, he might have had his. Yeah, he had a clear look at it.
Yeah, I don't think that hit
Might not have hit
Callier's leg. From my angle, it didn't, but it looked like it from the camera angle. Either way. George Jr. gives it right back, and there's Ira
taking
Rainey
out
had
the
the
hole
right
himself.
idea. Foul call is going to go against Terry Suggs.
Might have had it with a bounce pass, but not a little shuffle pass.
A little too cute, but it doesn't hurt the Farrell Steelers too much.
That's all right. Sometimes cute wins.
They still lead by 15 here, and Myron Lowe's at the line for a couple. 25 points in the ballgame. Still 2:51 to play in the third quarter. Rainey will get a seat on the Farrell bench, and
he's 10 for 10 from the free throw line, so I'm sure we jinxed him.
32 Lionel Stinson back in the backcourt. Oh, Rainey's still in there, my mistake. Dungy gets a rest. Lampkin and Gregory in the forecourt. Back.
Lowe's putting on a show here. Gonna get another 5 if they don't be careful.
Brown. He's kind of lost his shooting rhythm.
Yeah, he has.
They called it both ways. It's going to come to Farrell.
Farrell's ball.
Off the baseline. Each official had their own call.
I thought as active as Brown was in the first quarter, he sat out a little too long in the second quarter. Maybe with 3 fouls, you sit him down. I don't know about 2.
All right.
Farrell started pulling away a little bit, and he's not doing you any good on the bench.
As it turned out, who knows? But seems to be fatal right now for George Jr. Brown high for that rebound. Wow.
Yeah, a bad foul by Rainey.
Ira Rainey a little frustrated here in the second half.
Called on Rainey. Called on Marcus Gregory, number 21. But bad.
That's his second.
80 feet from the bucket, not a good foul.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing. When you're up by 61-45, you don't want to keep stopping the clock for George Jr. Plenty of time to go, obviously, in the ballgame. Still in the third quarter, 2:15 to play.
And get him a little closer to the bonus also.
Right. Denmark outside. Tyree looking for an open man, needing help. Brown now working closely. Is it a box and 1? Because, wow, P.D. Craig was on him. He drills the 3, and he was fouled. Was
Brown.
John Brown. Wow. So much for John Brown being out of rhythm. I'm not sure about that foul call. He got him late on the elbow. Foul called actually on number 5 for Farrell, O'Brien Lampkin. And I think that would be away from the ball if that's the case. It is, so it'll be George Jr. ball inbound.
Yeah.
61-48, this could be a 5-point play
swing
for George Jr. So my mistake, they did not foul the shooter, the foul away from the ball.
Another foul underneath.
Callier draws it on the inbound. That one on Gregory. His third. Lampkin back quickly. Stepped out, Dungy will go to the Farrell bench. Rich McConnell a little more composed. And 2 minutes to play. His team now within 13
Yeah, can't let
And then
that
11.
easy pass in.
Make it 11.
Simpson with 4 in a second, 6 overall.
It's the second time he's made Farrell pay on an easy inbounds play.
There's a steal.
Nice.
Brown's going to take this into the hole.
James Bates with the steal.
Nice
Brown
layup.
with the hoop. Bates gets credit for that basket. And just like that, it's 61-52, 9-point
Coming back
game.
a little. Extending that defense a little bit also, Sean.
Minute and a half still to play third
There's
quarter.
another steal.
Denmark.
It's going to go out of bounds. It was on the line. That's George Jr.'s ball.
Turnover by Farrell.
Yep.
Lampkin couldn't save it.
Couldn't get the handle on it.
Petey Craig immediately off the Farrell bench after a quick rest. Number 23 for the Steelers. And Dungy back as well. So it's Rainey and Lowe at the guards along with Dungy, Petey Craig, and O'Brien Lampkin is playing center against the 6'6" Benson Collier, who's now outside. Collier loose ball, wide open.
He's going right in there. Sealed the deal there, Sean.
Got to get out of his way, and they did.
Yeah.
7-point game, just like that. McConnell's technical looking pretty good right now, Jeff.
Yeah, it is.
They're getting calls, and his team is playing better.
And they're also making some shots, which don't hurt.
A double effect, and yes, as I say, well, the team playing better. I don't know if that helps them make shots, but it seems to have worked. Low to the backcourt. Farrell in control of the ball. 50 seconds to play here. You see in the third quarter.
Not a timely pass there. You got 48 seconds. You might want to pull the string on that one and play for the last shot of the quarter.
Lampkin hustling back in to play a little defense here, I guess.
Maybe take a little air out of George Jr.'s sails there.
Yeah, Chels Phillips, so a little offense-defense here, I guess, by Mike Casello. George Jr. crowd getting into it on the far side. Denmark. The Dutch.
There.
A good one for the Dutch as they'll take two.
His first two of the game.
61-56. Tyree, Denmark. Look at Lowe.
Oh, right to the hole.
Myron Lowe, what's that, 28? 27 points for Myron Lowe. Good play by Denmark to step through the trap. George Jr. needs the answer. Brown not there, but Collier, that stripped nicely. Lampkin with it going coast to coast. Good look.
They better get it up here. A little too unselfish here at the end, Sean.
Into the third quarter of play. Lampkin didn't get it up. Rainey didn't get it up. Lowe didn't get it up, and that's the end of the quarter. It's Farrell 63, and the visitors from George Jr. Republic 56. You're watching Adelphia Cable and a special edition of our Game of the Week here on the Adelphia Cable Systems in Western Pennsylvania. Sean Doherty here with George. Not George, it will be Jeff Whitfield. That would be his name right there in the corner of the screen. George would be playing the game. Mr. Junior Republic.
George is out there. You're absolutely right.
George came alive there, Jeff.
After that McConnell timeout, or a technical foul, I'm sorry, George Jr. on a 15-5 run. The Bullets within 7. They were down 17, 58-41 at the time.
And it's certainly been an entertaining night of basketball. They got off to an early lead, did George Jr. in the first quarter. Farrell responded, and as I guess we should say, Myron Lowe responded.
Myron Lowe, 14 in the second quarter, 13 in the third.
And this game really is his, it appears, to win or lose.
We were questioning in the first quarter where he was, and he may have heard us. We may have sent the message on to him ourselves. He certainly showed up 2 quarters since then.
And he is quite a player. And Mr. Brown has come back to life with Collier inside. Collier and Simpson, the 2 big men for Junior. George Jr., that is. And Farrell here to start the fourth quarter. Iron Rainey with a pretty drive. Misses on the shot rebound.
I told you earlier, it's so much easier to say GJR.
And it is. James Bates, 34, has made a couple of big plays here in the game for the Tigers. I'll go with Tigers. Denmark. Across the world. Bates.
Ooh, out of bounds.
Over the backboard and out of bounds to Farrell. 63-56 to our score. 7.5 minutes to play in the ball game.
Phillips back in with 4 fouls.
A little bit of full court pressure. Denmark sneaking up there.
Got to protect that ball with your body.
Behind Rainey and knocks it out of bounds. Little full court man.
Lowe taking it right to the hole. Collier with the ball.
Collier cleans it up. Lowe needs to get back. 5-on-4. Brown quickly loses control, but Collier
stepped out of bounds.
But what hustle to go the length of the floor to get down and almost save that play for George Jr. Benson Collier's an impressive player. You're going to look at the replay and just ball loose out of hands, and Farrell missing on the other end.
Simpson with the rebound.
George Jr. back quickly. Still 63-56.
Collier wants the ball.
Wanted the three, moves inside.
Almost carried. There's Brown for two. Missed it.
Got away with him. I think he bought a house that time in the 3-second zone before shooting the ball. Almost had time to close, did not. And Farrell back. 6:50 to play. Ches Phillips back in the ballgame for Farrell, number 2. He's Lowe on the near side. There's Myron Lowe on the far side. He is one heck of a ball player. 29 for Myron Lowe. Farrell 65, George Jr. 56.
This matchup zone's really causing some problems.
Brown.
See how their shooting goes. Brown
hard up there. There's Phillips and a nice rebound.
Yeah, Phillips has played tough under there tonight.
6'5" junior's done a nice job against the Twin Towers from the Tiger team. Rainey has looked good in spurts as well. Dungee's done a nice job in all phases of the game as he misses there.
Didn't work on the back.
That'll be 1-1 as the 7th foul called against the visitors here in the ball game. 6:02 to play.
Yeah, Rainey's almost been too unselfish at times. He's bounced up some 10, 12-foot jump shots, a couple of advised passes, and a couple assists on others. I want to look to take the ball himself a couple more times.
Simpson has checked out of the George Jr. lineup. Cannon White, number 23, a 6'3" senior back in there.
Yeah, Coach McConnell's not happy with his defense down on this end, Sean.
White started the game, and he's played good defense. And after 2 misses, there goes Suggs, coast to coast. 7-point game, 65-58.
Suggs in double digits with 10. Little trap out here. They got Lowe. There's a steal.
Denmark mugs him, takes it. Suggs.
Suggs in 2.
2 in a row. 12 points in the game.
5-point game, Sean.
5:40 to play.
A little bit of trap. A lot of quickness out
almost
there.
A little too high and long, and Rainey made.
Rainey for 2. Yeah, you got to put a little more
pay on the gamble.
You got to put a little more crispness on these passes, these soft lobs. These kids are too good athletes. They'll jump out there and steal them in a heartbeat.
Almost got that one, but they did not.
Yep, just
Farrell
missed it. Collier for 3.
I think I'd rather have him under the hoop.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his range out there.
But good aggressive play inside by Suggs. Or no, that's Cannon White. To tie up the rebound, it's going to be held ball to George Jr. here with 5:13 to play, down 7.
Yeah, I think
Brown, nice move.
Oh, almost rolled it in.
Phillips is fouled out. Is that would be
Phillips
5?
may be gone.
That's a tough call. I don't know if we have another look at that or not.
Picked up 2 bad fouls this afternoon.
Brown makes a good attempt here. You go against him. Oh, yeah, he got him on the wrist.
Yeah.
Right on the forearm.
That's close, though.
Well, if he doesn't hit him on the forearm, Brown probably lays that in.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's a call the official has to make. It's a tough one for Phillips because it's a play he really has to make. And a good play by Brown to go right at him. So it'll be 2 shots here for John Brown, the 5'11" senior guard, who has played big inside and sometimes big outside for George Jr. in this game, but this is on the first of 2 from the line.
His first trip there tonight. It's pretty hard to believe as active as he's been in the game. He's got 20 on the evening. Missed them both. Big rebound in there.
Cannon White, rebound follow.
Really crashing the boards.
Follow. Outside to Suggs. 4th try.
Oh, he got it.
Mark up 3.
Suggs with 7 quick points in this quarter, Sean.
4-point game. 67-63.
They have become active.
Lowe's in a trap, finds a man.
Oh!
Collier with the block. Lowe, loose ball. P.D. Craig.
Oh, got a foul in there.
It's going to go against Collier, I think.
Yes, it is.
Craig did a nice job. He was triple teamed inside there, Jeff. And I think Mr. Lowe surprised a little with that around-the-back pass.
Yeah, definitely.
But he made it pay, or at least he can make it pay here and open up more than what Farrell has, a 4-point lead at this point.
Craig didn't give up in there against the Giants. Mr. Collier said, get that first one out of here.
Orlando, Petey Craig. There's the nice dish from Lowe. Craig hot for him. Buzz pull it in. He goes to the line and makes one of two.
Nice rebound under there.
Great rebound inside. But the finish not there for Lionel Stinson, who's been quiet in the game for Farrell. Suggs back quickly. 4.5 minutes to play. 5-point game.
We're going to get the ball in Brown's hand here.
Suggs looking for his 10th straight. And
nice pass, Rainey.
when you shoot that shot, you got to be aware of where Myron Lowe is.
Yeah, you got to check out.
Farrell gets the easy bucket and makes him pay. 70-63.
Shoot the long three, you usually don't follow your shot. You got to check back on defense on a play like that, or they'll have a cherry picker down.
Lowe with a nice steal. He's very aggressive at both ends, and he's had a terrific ball game. What's he up to, 33 at this point? Oh, my. Craig, whoa.
31, Sean.
Sure did.
GJR.
I don't know if we have a replay of that or not, Joe, but watch Petey Craig if we do. Show it to the defender, take it away, and then finish it to open up a 72-63 lead for Farrell. It's a good look ahead here. Watch Craig go. Whoops, and takes it back, bang. That's a pretty drive for the senior.
Down to crunch time now, 9-point lead.
Absolute crunch time there. That man right there in the middle of our picture has been a season ticket holder since, I believe, 1765. But I joke a little bit, but he is definitely the longest holding season ticket holder. He is sat in that very seat here at Farrell's E.J. McCluskey Gymnasium since the 1930s, and I'm not lying.
He was back for that classic game when the Pilgrims played here.
I had a chance to meet him. Yeah, and I think Farrell took him on and did a good job, kind of ambushed him. I'm not sure. There was something about the officials that night, but either way. This is a great town for high school sports and high school basketball, of course.
Oh, it's excellent. And this is what's missing, not only across the state of Pennsylvania, but across the country. Small town still flourishing with a great sports teams and great tradition. 3,000
people here on a Saturday night. For, as I mentioned earlier, a game that doesn't mean anything, except it's great to watch. Collier.
Had it on the hip. They called a charge. He's out of the game. Wow. They're going to get him for the walk.
That's a tough call. Wow. That is a tough call. And an awful way. Let's take a look here. An awful way to foul out of the game. Oh, he didn't touch him. Oh, what a great acting job. Who's that Farrell player? We're going to give that man an Oscar. That's Petey Craig. I think he did it on both ends. What a great job he did there. And Collier will go to the bench. Unfortunately for us and for George Jr., because he's really been entertaining here tonight.
And Collier fouls out with 16 points.
3:40 to play in the ball game, and it's a 9-point Farrell lead. Hey, see where they put us here. There's so many people here. We've got 3,000 people. They'll stick us.
That's all right. We got a row by ourselves.
Hi, Dave. How are you? Say hello to our cameraman, David, up there. And here's Lowe ahead of the back. You can't look away from this game any second.
No, not at all.
Suggs back quickly for the Tigers. They'll set it up, kind of. Denmark. Brown. Suggs again.
There's a steal.
A little out of control.
Yep.
Craig, good dish there. I'm
Randy for two.
That was very awkward looking, but it was a great assist from Petey Craig.
That could be a dagger right there, Sean.
Iron Rainey got the easy hoop.
Put it back up to 11. That's off of Brown's foot. Farrell's ball.
And I think it's time to warm up that George Jr. Republic bus. And Barrister's not here tonight, so we'll do it for him.
Yeah. The only thing is they still got about 45 more trips up and down the court, maybe.
Still 3:05 to play, but
playing a little LA defense down here.
And Stinson I don't think that fell in. I got a weird angle, but he'll go to the line for 2. The 10th foul, they'll shoot 2 fouls. Will Farrell the rest of the ball game.
They got Denmark with his 3rd of the evening.
Tyree Denmark. Stinson on the board as James Bates, 34, comes back in replacing Suggs for the Tigers.
George Jr. got to make every trip count here now.
Bates looks for help. Cannon White inside. Brown corner. Whoa.
Simpson throwing one down underneath.
Sean Simpson has been big at 6'6", and that's an understatement. Couple dunks in the ball game for him.
Yeah, you got to make every trip count. Farrell's 20 out of 24 from the free throw line tonight, Sean.
Steal there by the quick hands of Denmark. White hassled a little up court. Brown. He's not bashful. He'll take the 3 any way he gets him. That time off the glass.
Called glass, too.
Low bounced that with 4 hands, I think. I'm not sure that was legal. Coach McConnell's wondering what the officials are looking at. Nice block inside, and it's on the baseline. Simpson with the block on the attempted shot. I don't think he even got off his feet, and he still blocked that shot.
Yeah, well, these officials, they probably made more trips up and down this court tonight than 3 games combined.
Yeah. Good look inside for Farrell, and Beatty Craig misses, but nice tip. Stinson with the tip, pulled out there finally by Simpson. The play around the glass has been real aggressive by both teams.
Brown got a block underneath there.
Yep. Stinson not quite back defensively to step in front of Brown. And
give him the 1-on-1.
8 fouls against Farrell with 1:45 to play in the game. And this is about the only way George Jr. has a chance to get back into this, as they trail 75-68 with 1:45 to play.
Well, no time coming off the clock when they're standing there. He missed his first 2 attempts, but see if he can redeem himself there.
Keep stopping the clock and drawing fouls. He'll do that.
Nice stroke error for his 24th.
He's had a nice game. He had a cold streak in the middle, but John Brown with 25 points in the ball game, and it's a 5-point game again. That's just 2 trips. At these teams, you never know. 1:39 to play. Farrell trying to pull out
the steal.
The zone, and Denmark another cheap steal.
Oh, he missed it.
He was looking at the Myron Lowe, the Farrell defender.
Yeah, there's a foul on Lowe.
But a good one, I think, as he
it was a good one. That was an easy bucket. But, of course, that was Denmark's under there. And, yeah, it looked like he took his eye off the basket there.
Yeah, he was looking at Lowe. James Bates will go to the line for a couple here. That's just 2 fouls against Lowe in the ball game. Brown, just a freshman. I think I said earlier he was a senior.
I thought so, too.
I'm glad you just pointed that out. We have a couple rosters here. He's a 9th grader. Ouch.
I had to look at that 3 or 4 times.
Wow. Look at that play there. As you see there, a good attempt by Lowe, but just did not have position to block.
He's a 9th grader, Sean. I hope Coach McCall is probably hoping that he's one of the 10% that comes back.
Yeah.
For about the next 3 years.
I'm not sure where his home district is, but I'm guessing they're lobbying every court in the land to get him back home next year. He can play the game.
He's a nice-looking ball player.
He is a good player. John Brown, listed at 5'11". Look there at the Farrell huddles. I mentioned earlier the assistant coaches for Mike DeCello. Big Farrell history. Frank Simsick, the former state championship winning coach, and there's Roland Shannonhouse in the coach, who's now a state trooper. Played back in '83. What a point guard he was. Once again, we're looking at a terrific crowd here at McCluskey Gymnasium here in Farrell, Pennsylvania. But the issue is James Bates at the line, his team down by 5.
Chance to get on the board tonight. He hasn't scored. Here's where you got to make them.
The Tigers really needed that, and they'll really need this one. 1:24 to play in the game. They have a chance to take this to the wire.
Missed them both. There's
Great
a big rebound by White. Nice block in there.
Better block.
Craig got it.
Petey Craig. Oh, wow. Look at Craig on the offensive end.
Nice play there by Lowe. Rainey's taking it to the hole. Oh, man. I don't know if they needed that one.
No, needed to back it out, I think. But Brown up quickly, down 4. Three-pointer. Cannon White. Ouch.
We got a ball game.
1-point game, a minute to play.
Wow. We said there's going to be too many trips left, and they've jumped up to an 11-point lead there with about 2:50 left.
That bus might be warm, it might be hot, but it's going to keep running.
That's all right. As long as they got antifreeze, it won't overheat.
That's right. Petey Craig in the post. Rainey and Lowe outside for Farrell with a 1-point lead, 40 seconds
Got to
to
be
play.
patient. Same thing with George Jr. Be patient.
Stinson in the corner. Craig outside. Aggressive defense.
Double team out here.
Good double reaching foul called against Tyree Denmark, his 4th. And 9th. No, that's 10 against George Jr. So the Steelers will shoot 2 shots, and that'll be Petey Craig at the line.
It was Denmark's 4th.
Doesn't really matter with only 29 seconds left in the ball game.
You don't know. You could be playing 4 more, 8 more, 12 more. It's hard to say.
That's for sure. Both teams wanting to end it, I think, in the next 29 seconds. Craig will have a chance to give.
Big miss there.
Farrell
3 for 6 from the line. 30-second timeout.
Well, Brian Lampkins will return
Jr.
after the timeout here, and a good one.
We're going to set up our last play here. Going to depend. Might give them 2 choices.
Well, at most it'll be a. Wait a second. It was a 1-point game. That didn't do in.
That was a 2-point ball game.
All right. I thought it was 1.
Yeah, it was 2 points.
I missed it. I looked at the wrong score. All right. We have a 2-point game. Okay. So this could make it 3, and obviously that would leave Coach McCall. Well, he could. It really, with 29 seconds, has a choice to do whatever he wants here.
Right, exactly. He's still enough time to play for the 2 or the 3. They may be protecting the 3-point line and get a nice lazy bucket underneath.
Right, and also go to the hoop and draw the foul, which they've done very well here this evening.
I'm not quite sure how many timeouts he has left. He hasn't called a whole heck of them tonight.
Yeah, biggest player would be Ches Phillips, and he's on the bench with 5 fouls already in the ballgame.
Right.
He's out. So here it'll be Petey Craig shooting one more time here with 29 seconds to play.
Got a box out here, though. Farrell's got 3 or 4 rebounds off of missed free throws tonight. Off the few they have missed.
There's ice water in that young man's veins. 76-73. Brown wants the 3.
Rebound. Denmark. Really don't have to go for the 3 there.
Loose ball.
Lost it. Rainey's taking it in.
Rainey.
He got fouled too. They caught intentional. He made the buckets. Intentional or not, it's an afterthought there.
Mark it up. That's the ball game. Iron Rainey, but what a play.
Heck of a play there.
Petey Craig to tip that rebound out. Denmark had the loose ball.
Brought the house down.
Farrell Steelers. Here's the play that decides the ball game right here. Great defensive play there by Rainey. He tipped it out, and then it was tipped back to him by Craig. And a good hustle, and that's a bad foul because Rainey could have been injured. Smart play by the George Jr. player who let go and did not pull to the floor. So Farrell will get 2 shots here, and then the ball out of bounds with 13 seconds left. They lead at 78-73. Iron Rainey played his ball last year at Oak Hill Academy in Virginia, the infamous Oak Hill Academy.
He came to life tonight.
Really played in spurts, and when Farrell has needed him, he's done a good job.
Yeah.
But that play really made by Rainey and Petey Craig, who've been big here in the final minutes for the Steelers.
and that sealed the deal. Big still, I thought George Jr. didn't have to really shoot that three-pointer with 20 seconds left. Kind of cost him dribbling it back out.
A little shaky, but they almost pulled down the rebound. They got a good shot out of it, Brown. And the way he has played tonight, hot and cold, you really couldn't fault him for taking it. And also,
I'm not talking about Brown on the rebound when they pulled it out.
Right.
Of course, there are a bunch of 16, 17-year-old kids,
I'm thinking that he's a freshman. He might be even younger than that. One would think he is. And wow, what a play and what a ball game here at E.J. McCluskey Gymnasium.
And the big difference tonight was at the free throw line. George Jr. just missed a ton of opportunities, Sean.
How many points did Myron Lowe end up with? Who's our leading scorer in the ball game? 31 last time I checked.
31.
And what a ball game for him.
Farrell's going to be tough to beat here in District 7. They have some stiff challenges from the Ella Clippers and the Beaver Falls.
Rainey just missing there, but 4 players in double figures for the Steelers in this victory.
I don't want to leave out Stowe Rocks either. White missed a 3.
Cannon White not there. And our final's going to be Farrell 80, George Junior Republic 73. Mike DeCello and the Farrell Steelers victorious as he joins his family. The Farrell Band celebrates. And Jeff, I don't have much more to say. I think the pictures told the story.
Yeah, that's it. Great game, up and down. A lot of athletes on the court tonight, Sean.
We hope you've enjoyed our coverage here of special Philadelphia Cable and the Western Pennsylvania Systems. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
Good night.